Dear, welcome back. Mission Shock Force 2 Battle Pack was just released. Yeah, thank you to Matrix Battlefront for the key. Rather came surprising to me to see new content for Shock Force 2, which is probably my all-time favorite combat mission game. I mean, that is a combat mission game I started my CM career with the first Shock Force. I mean, Shock Force 2 is basically some sort of remaster. Yeah, I'm currently streaming here from my working toaster notebook. So yeah, quality of video and audio might be questionable, but I still wanted to give that game a first look and provide an overview of the content. Give me a second to see. Overview. Yeah, okay. Exactly. So it is a battle pack, which means there's no new toys, no new hardware, but we get a lot of battles and 4 new campaigns. Yeah, the graphics are a bit garbled up because that is what I usually experience with integrated graphic cards on certain notebooks. They can sometimes, the text looks a bit strange, but I'm still surprised how good that game runs on that toaster here, which considering it's a 3D game, which can't play anything else than Tetris. Okay, so let's see if we can identify the, yeah, I think it is the AM prefix, which we can sort out. AM, SMC. ID tutorial, very good. I think that was added new because most people really struggle to understand how IEDs work in Shock Force 2, which is probably that game with some, yeah, perhaps despite armor or something, with very complex, probably the first game that even introduced ever somewhat realistic, authentic IED mechanics. But as often, problem was that nobody could really figure it out. I mean, the manual provided information, but for a lot of people, especially using IEDs, was always somewhat a mystery. There's always a lot of talk. So great to have an IED tutorial there to understand exactly how IEDs work, VB IEDs, vehicle-borne IEDs. It was back in the days revolutionary. I mean, that game really added stuff like, I mean, it was the first game on the Combat Mission 2 engine, then followed by Normandy. It was a revolutionary game, as Combat Mission 1 was. It was a revolutionary game. I mean, not a war game, but it was a revolutionary in every sense. Spotting mechanics, command control, what information is conveyed and everything, and ID mechanics, spotting mechanics. It really got me intrigued and into Combat Mission. I never played Combat Mission 1 before that. So yeah, but just a bit surprised because I think I read something of 20-25 scenarios. Can only now identify those here. Perhaps there's more that don't have the AM tag, which I think is the tag for the battle pack. But anyways, will show you. Check the store page again for the entire content description. But that is the mission I go here through. That here is also of the battle pack, I'm not sure. Quick battles maps were added. Chill test. Good, I'm back. I also have a small pub to attend. And Windows wants to install a new update. Yeah, so. Okay, good. Let's return to the game. Good. That about the content. Yeah, in case you don't know, Combat Mission Shock Force 2 is basically the GOAT. Yeah, when it comes to at least the war on terror, modern warfare period. We now in the recent years we see a new. Oh man, come on. Get lost. In recent years we see a new type of warfare in the various conflicts. But yeah, Shock Force 2 is basically represents a situation, something like the invasion of Iraq, but on rocks, yeah, depicting a more formidable Syria and US plus major NATO forces, including US Army, US Marines, Brits, Germans, Canadians, and that's it, yeah. With a ton of weaponry. And yeah, other than perhaps games like Arma, there's nothing that can hold a candle to Combat Mission Shock Force or any of the Combat Mission games. Okay, but about the campaign. So we have 4 new campaigns. One campaign from the Syrian perspective, that is cool. Because I think official content, there was no campaign so far. There's a lot of great campaigns, custom-made campaigns. Yeah. I always recommend for beginners either Combat Mission Normandy or Combat Mission Shock Force 2 alone for the amount of content you can find. Although these days it is a bit difficult because it is often hosted somewhere in the depths of Battlefront forums or on web pages that go offline from yesterday to today. So yeah, get that content before it disappears. I hope that here our hero and savior that I forgot his name, unfortunately, that guy that is preserving all the wargame content, because we talked about that wargame genre. Our community has really a bad habit of losing massive amounts of content, and Combat Mission is there no exclusion. To the contrary, it is even one of the worst offenders. How much content would already be lost for Combat Mission 1 if there wouldn't be Alternate Wars, I think that is his name, who's preserving all the files on archive. And yeah, same here. I think that web page that had always this complicated upload procedures also now went offline with a ton of content. A lot of content is also spread out over the Battlefront forums, over the 5 million pages. But there's still more stuff you can find, and Combat Mission Shock Force 2 is really... also, the campaigns that were made for Shock Force 1 usually work also for Shock Force 2. And one thing I've already noticed, and that is finally a really good, at least in my book, finally, I'm happy to see that. I checked all 4 campaigns, and all 4 campaigns seem... Let's boot into the Syrian campaign. Yeah, exactly. The campaign briefings, I will not read them, but I will. You can pause the video and read it for yourself. I didn't read them myself so far. When I will play the campaigns, then on my Toni, nicht jetzt. On my main battleship, then we will dive into those. But here you can already pause the video on YouTube and check it out for yourself. Ah, usually Hapless designed this. Okay. The guy also has a YouTube channel making tutorials, great tutorials for Combat Mission. Nice. But one thing I've already saw, which is really great, is those campaigns all seem to be smaller scale. Thank you very much who had that idea, because Combat Mission is also following this wargame genre or wargame developer kink. I mean, I really need to say it is a kink of making war games more complicated, bigger, more units, so that every turn takes 5 hours. I mean, we've seen really... It is great, yeah. If you enjoy that, if you enjoy those monster complicated war games where every turn you need to give 5,000 orders, where you can't question if it even makes sense from an authentic command and control role that you are ordering 5,000 units around and micromanaging them. But it's okay. If you enjoy that, that is fine. Opinions differ, of course. But I think Combat Mission shines on a small scale. It was for Classic Combat Mission already like that. I think even Classic Combat Mission, the old Combat Mission, works even better on a bigger scale because it abstracts a lot. Like Combat Mission 2 engine games like Shock Force 2, they are rather very detailed. Yeah, you need to watch how you place your units, watch everything. And if you have then, I don't know, 5,000 units, we've seen here Combat Mission Cold War, 1,000 units thrown onto some small map. And as some of the expansion packs, always bigger, and I boot into the campaign and immediately say, okay, no, thank you, goodbye. Here, see the campaign, nice, goodbye. And it is not about even the proficiency. I play Combat Mission since I know what. Shock Force was released 2008, yeah? I think that's the first time I played Combat Mission, Shock Force 1, yeah? So it is almost 20 years I play this game, and I must say my tolerance for this micromanaging even got worse. Yeah? Nowadays I don't even want to tinker around and spend 3-4 hours in the setup phase or per turn, yeah, fixing all those units. So, and there was a lack of content, simply smaller campaigns, no matter what, if it is World War II, and no, you can't depict everything on a smaller scale. Yeah, Cold War is a big struggle, but still you can depict also platoon or company-based action in isolated tactical situations. Yeah, that is absolutely no problem. And perhaps get off that kink, designing those ultra. That is not only Combat Mission. Also, other war game developers do that, designing those ultra big experiences for the 0.01 percenters on the forums who are circle jerking. But nobody else will play it. It is what it is. Yeah? Nobody will play it. Except for that, I know, 1-2 oldies on your forums, which will give you a clap. Which doesn't mean that I say that if you enjoy those monster, I know people that enjoy monster war games or monster scenarios, which is fine, yeah? But often it is more, I don't know, some sort of achievement, getting the medal for it, but nobody will play it. At least that is how it looks for me, but others might have a different opinion. That's absolutely fine. But anyways, here it is great to see that we have at least telling by the first missions. Telling by the first missions, yeah, I will not move a lot around. Again, the graphics look somewhat representable, but I can't do it much on a machine here. But still, rather surprised that it even runs. I could play. I already played. I mean, that's how I started to play Combat Mission. It's those frames. If you deactivate shadows, not even that bad. But yeah, I will of course wait. But you see, that is here the Syrian campaign where we start out with a couple of units. And I mean, Combat Mission has a very detailed unit simulation, yeah, with all equipment, with experience, physical status. Vehicles carrying ammo and everything. The less units you have, the more important this becomes. If I would have 5,000 units, I don't give a damn if a single squad is regular or green. Yeah? Or if they have, I don't know, 100 545 or not, yeah? Or if they have a radio or if they have a RPG or not. Yeah? But with smaller units, basically old school combat mission, as also a Normandy old school combat mission, you will pay attention to everything about those guys have a PKM. Okay, let's position them here. So that's the Syrian campaign. Looks interesting. Perhaps that is even the first campaign I will play. And it seems like we want to ambush some US forces here. Even have a spy. This game also has very interesting spy or mechanics where you can blend in, blend out. Civilians are not simulated, but somewhat this game simulates people that appear as non-combatants, as it was typical, yeah, in those theaters. Okay, that's the first mission for the Syrian campaign, and I can already tell you, yeah, there's a very mixed, nice, positive mixed bag, yeah, of light infantry combat. Yes, we have special forces, we have Syrians, might be mixed, I don't know, perhaps in the later missions you will also have tanks. Mechanized, I saw, yeah. Bradley, and also Mountain Warfare here, US Special Force. You see the campaigns are all tiny or small, and that is great. We need more of this content because that is, this again, it's great to have also those, but yeah, Shock Force in general is good for this. Shock Force is never going this complete crazy with the unit amounts as we have lately seen in the recent expansions or new games. Cold War, I think the Normandy expansion, the D-Day expansion was also brutal. I think I never played any single campaign of them because I already saw the first mission and said, okay, GG, goodbye. But this year I maybe want to play. Unfortunately, on that machine here, I will not play it because that machine is a crap toaster. But if I see that already a couple of units, man, I absolutely in. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Dream comes true. Thanks. Who did that at Matrix, Battlefront, whoever is now sailing the ship, and the community. It's great to see also here that we have new scenario designers like here, usually Hapless, joining in because that was also often there was of course some old schoolers, and it's great to have them around. But often it was only a couple of people working, so it's good to see new faces working on new campaigns or new scenarios. I hope that Combat Mission also will see new expansion. Those games still have a lot of potential, and they also claimed to work on a new Combat Mission. We will see. I mean, with the Matrix flag now, I can imagine that this will indeed happen. Question is when and whether I will see it or my children will tell me. But at least we have a future for Combat Mission. Because war games in general struggle a bit right now. So after we had a revival, the last decade is a bit going down, and during some sort of age of new age. Good, that is a SOF campaign. Here's the campaign. You can pause, read it, and also made by the same guys, I think. Very cool. There's also a crazy mod for Shock Force 2, yeah, here. Heaven and Earth. That Vietnam-style mod is one of the best mods I've ever played. It's a hidden gem. That is really deserves the name Hidden Gem. Heaven and Earth mod for Combat Mission Shock Force 2. Absolutely. With that main campaign, here, Year of the Monkey, or what it's called. Nuts campaign. One of the best experiences I ever had in video gaming. And top experience in wargaming. So that is also Shock Force 2 also has a ton of mods, even a total conversion mod, which really smartly circumvents certain mod limitations. IQ 400 mod. Good. Here ODA. Army Special Forces. Very good. A response to an ambush. Yeah. Nice, a couple of vehicles, a couple of dudes, I'm in. Yeah. And also mixed forces here. Coming in with some native forces. Also very cool. And those guys got ambushed, okay. Basically during the occupation phase. And here are the special force incoming, okay. Nice. Very cool. I'll say me want to play that. Okay, third campaign. The Bitter Enders. A bit hard to read because of that garbled up text. Because of the internal graphic card. Yeah, here, US combined arms. So here you see, as you see in a picture, Bradley's mechanized. Campaign briefing. Yeah, we see such battle packs, campaign packs, as opposed to the other games. It's going a bit down. I think we have now enough content for the micro dudes. There's more back to the roots, like here, those beloved campaigns in Normandy. My favorite in Normandy is, what is it called? Bandit, no, Outlaws campaign. Beautiful campaign, which is based on real accounts of of the creator's grandfather. And he created a campaign out of that. Because his grandfather jumped with the airborne at D-Day. And you're also working out basically tactical situations with a couple of guys or squads, as they usually face them. Okay, that is here. That's here. Some drones and strike eagles. It's 155 Mike in 120s. And again, yeah, platoon. There's a couple of platoons coming as reinforcements. You have a situation here, some suburbans, university. Go fix it, yeah. Play that here. Acceptable frames. But nice. I need my 60, 70, 80 frames, especially in games like this. Get until my battleship, back to my in command of my battleship. Okay. And the last campaign, Hornet's Nest. Yeah, so you have everything. Yeah? You have here light infantry action. You have Syrian action. You have mechanized combined arms action. And here, what is missing? Of course, MOUT, military operations in open terrain. We have a campaign focusing on MOUT, which is of course also a very special. Here is the icon of the battle pack now. Okay, see it. Which is also a very special, often for newcomers, difficult to understand aspect of combat mission. But still, one of the most authentic and interesting depictions. If not even the best. Yeah, I think so. Nowadays, combat mission holds the pole position in that regard. So no game really. I mean, of perhaps some WDS games or whatever. I mean, sure there is some games here, former John Teller games that are somewhat the depiction of challenges for fighting in Fallujah or what. Okay, campaign briefing. You can pause. Read that when the time arrives. Change the title. Yeah, streaming subcommand. Yeah, MOUT. MOUT is MOUT. MOUT is mouting. So exactly, as it looks for me, want to play that. Some of the platoon-sized elements. Roll out. Yeah, I think that's the first battle pack where I check the first mission on every campaign. I mean, say I want to play them all. And we will do that probably. Really good to see that type of content. And yeah, that's it basically. Check it out, that battle pack. I think this can get it on Steam, Matrix. And now Battlefront is not selling anymore. Usually, if you buy on Matrix, you also get a Steam key. Yeah? Usually, I can't tell because I received the key from Matrix for Steam directly, but usually it is. If you buy on Matrix, you get it basically for both. If you buy on Steam, you don't get a Matrix key. And usually, I think that developers get more out if you buy on Matrix. I'm not sure. But usually, I mean, you need to pay that fee to Steam. However, whatever. Looks really solid and we will play it, but I can already tell content-wise and what I see here, that is absolutely worth the money. Okay. That's it. That was the new commission Shock Force 2 Battle Pack. Looks very solid. And yeah, you can expect me to play it soon. Okay. That's it. See you. Good hunting.